The beaver is featured on the Canadian coat of arms, serving as one of the prominent national symbols, symbolizing the importance of the fur industry in Canada's early Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee people look at the turtle's back as a calendar, with its pattern of 13 large scuts, or sections of the shell, representing the 13 moons of each year. The 28 smaller scuts around the edge of the shell represent the 28 days in each moon cycle. Turtles are an important symbol in many cultures around the world. According to many First Nations legends, the turtle was there when the earth was created and carries the knowledge and teachings of all ancestors on its back. They are determined, persistent, patient, wise, enduring, and patient. The introduction of horses to North America had profound impacts on Indigenous peoples, transforming their ways of life, culture, and socio-economic systems. The horse was brought to the continent by European explorers in the early 16th century. The impact of horses on Indigenous communities had significant consequences. While the introduction of horses had numerous positive impacts on Indigenous societies, it is important to acknowledge that these changes occurred within the broader context of European colonization, which also brought negative consequences for Indigenous peoples. The horse played a central role in shaping the history and cultures of many Indigenous nations in North America. On the west coast of Canada, particularly among the Indigenous peoples of the Pacific Northwest, including the Haida, Tlingit, and Coast Salish, traditional dwellings are known as longhouses. These longhouses have distinct characteristics reflecting the unique cultural and environmental context of the Pacific Northwest. West Coast longhouses are typically constructed using large cedar logs for the framework and red cedar planks for the walls. West Coast longhouses are rectangular in shape, with a long and narrow structure. The roof is covered with orcas, also known as killer whales, are believed to be guardians of the sea by some Indigenous communities. To some, orcas represent the strength of love and the bonds of family because of their strong group behavior. Indigenous peoples and orcas have lived in harmony in the Pacific Northwest for centuries. Orcas are the most widespread marine mammal on the planet, and the top predator. It is said that they protect those who travel away from home, and lead them back when the time comes. Orcas will often stay their whole life with the same pod, and raise each calf with care. Referred to as sea wolves in some Northwest Coast cultures, they are revered for their hunting skills and sheer strength. The horizontal figure or infinity symbol featured on the Métis flag was originally carried by French half-breeds with pride. The symbol, which represents the immortality of the nation, in the center of a blue field represents the joining of two cultures. The Métis flag is a symbol of continuity and pride. The Riel House National Historic Site is on Treaty No. 1 territory, the traditional territory of Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and the homeland of the Red River Métis. Though Louis Riel himself never lived in the house, after he was hanged for high treason, his body lay in state in the living room in December of 1885. A pelt is an animal's skin and fur. Beaver pelts were among the most sought-after furs due to the popularity of beaver top hats in Europe. The team of dogs used in Inuit dog sleds typically consists of strong and hardy breeds, such as the Husky, who are well adapted to cold climates and are capable of pulling heavy loads over snow and ice. Dogs are harnessed to the sled using a system of lines designed to distribute the pulling force evenly across the dogs' bodies. Dogs are trained to respond to voice commands and signals from the musher. Dog sleds provide access to areas that may be otherwise difficult to reach, especially during the winter months when waterways are frozen. Dog sleds played a crucial role in the survival of Inuit communities, providing a reliable means of transportation, even in extreme weather conditions. The use of dog sleds is deeply rooted in Inuit culture, reflecting the close relationship between the Inuit people and their sled dogs. In recent times, snowmobiles have become more prevalent, impacting the traditional practice of dog sledding. While modern forms of transportation have become more common, the Inuit dog sled remains an important cultural symbol, and is still used for certain purposes, such as cultural events, races, and as a means of preserving traditional knowledge and practices. These iconic wallaby statues can be found on Wollongong campus, and even in Dubai. They highlight the warm relationship between the campuses, and this display of mammals are known as the Kira mob made by Gabby Porter in 2012. Wallabies belong to the same family of macropods as kangaroos, but they are not the same. They are comparatively smaller in size, and quicker due to their compact legs. The wallabies can be found on the grass on Juggler's Lawn amongst the relaxing chairs and trees.